I promise you do not need tons of different gadgets and pots and pans to make simple, healthy, protein-packed meals. As a matter of fact, I'm gonna show you 3 go-to meals that I make on repeat. It's a breakfast, a lunch, and a dinner using just one pan, and that is a non-stick ceramic-coated fry pan. And while I've tested a bunch of them, the made-in ceramic clad pans have become my go-to favorite for several different reasons, which is why I have partnered with them for this video. If you are looking for high quality, trustworthy, non-stick cookware that is both safe and durable, these are the pans for you. Not only are they beautiful, but they have a natural ceramic coating that is free of PFAS, PFOA, PTFE, BPA, lead, cadmium, the works. So this is a beautiful non-stick pan that is 100% safe for you, your food, and your family. And I'm going to share more on them throughout the video, but for right now, let's jump into recipe number 1, which is a breakfast frittata. Now, I love frittatas because they're packed with protein, they're loaded with vegetables, and they're so flexible. So I'm going to start by combining 4 whole eggs with a half a cup of liquid egg whites. Liquid egg whites are just a great way to boost the content in pretty much any dish while still keeping the final dish nice and light. So I'll whisk those 2 together, and then for an extra pop of protein and for a nice rich creamy flavor, I love to add a half a cup of cottage cheese. This could be low fat, non-fat, full fat, whichever one you've got, whatever you love. I'll season that with a little bit of salt and pepper and give that one more mix. Personally, I love adding cottage cheese to any type of egg dish because not only does it add an extra pop of protein, but it has this really rich, creamy, delicious texture as well. Now, for the fillings, you're gonna need about 4 cups of whatever you choose to put in your frittata. That's the beauty of a frittata, it's super flexible. Personally, today I am going with 3 cups of zucchini that I like to chop into quarter moons. And then I have 1 cup of small grape tomatoes that I have sliced in half. But again, keep in mind, this is a great time to use any vegetables, any leftover meats, anything that you have hanging out in the fridge because frittatas are just very versatile like that. Then here on the stove, I have the 10-inch ceramic clad pan, and to that I'm adding just a little bit of butter. That's gonna be for our zucchini. I'll get the heat to a nice medium low, and then toss the zucchini into the pan with a little bit of salt and a little bit of pepper. Now, I just like to let this cook for about 5 minutes or so. So the goal is for the zucchini to become tender, but you don't want it to get mushy and you don't necessarily want it to brown. So you're just looking to get the raw edge off of the zucchini. Okay, so this zucchini is looking perfect. Fork tender, looks delicious. I'm gonna toss my tomatoes into the pan, and then I love to do some hearty pieces of fresh crumbled feta cheese. But again, you could use any cheese that you have on hand. It's such a flexible recipe, okay? Then if you had fresh herbs, that's always a nice touch to put over the top. I don't have anything fresh, so I'm doing a little bit of dried Italian seasoning, and then I'm going to pour that egg and cottage cheese mixture over all of these vegetables, okay? You just wanna get it nice and even. You can just pat it out, even the top a bit. And then this is going to go into the oven for 20 to 25 minutes at 350 degrees. Okay, so while that's happening, I'm gonna share a bit more on the made-in ceramic clad pans because not all nonstick pans are created equal. A lot of the nonstick pans that you see are really just cheap aluminum pans with a ceramic coating right over the top. But I'm telling you, these pans are not that. These pans are made with a premium 5-ply stainless steel construction, so they heat up really well, they hold and distribute the heat very evenly, and they work on gas, electric, and induction. They are oven safe up to 550 degrees Fahrenheit, which is why I can take my frittata from the stovetop right into the oven. Plus, I find them to be very sturdy, but also very light. And I love this signature Stay Cool handle because when you're cooking on the stovetop, you don't need to worry about using a pot holder. And this isn't just a favorite pan to healthy home cooks like myself. This is the same kitchenware used by real chefs in multiple 3 Michelin star restaurants and thousands of top-rated restaurants and hotel kitchens across the country. And I was very impressed when I saw that they have over 100,000 5-star reviews from both press and everyday home cooks like you and I. So you know this is like a good quality pan. So all of this to say, if you have been on the hunt for good quality non-stick ceramic pans, be sure that you check out the ceramic ironclad collection and my other favorite cookware by Made In by using the link that I have for you down in the description box below. Okay, once the frittata is done, you're just gonna let it cool a bit. Again, you're gonna notice that it's set around the edges and it's fluffed up a bit. And then once the frittata has cooled down, I like to just slip it either onto a cutting board or onto a nice big plate. And oh my gosh, you're gonna see with these pans, it literally just slips right out. And then to enjoy this, I usually either cut it into fours if I'm gonna enjoy it with like some toast and some fruit, or if I'm eating it on its own, I will just cut it in half and enjoy the entire half, which is going to deliver 30 grams of protein. Veggies, eggs, cottage cheese, delicious. Okay, moving on to lunch, we've got the same pan, a different meal. And I'm gonna show you how I make anything you have in the fridge quesadillas. Quesadillas are a crowd pleaser, and it's another super flexible recipe because you can literally make it with whatever leftover veggies, beans, meats that you have on hand. So here's what I'm using. I've got some tortillas, I've got some shredded cheese, and then I am doing some chicken, and this is just leftover rotisserie chicken that I had in the fridge that I gave a nice fine chop, and I have some steamed broccoli that I had in the fridge, so I just chop that up as well. Then whenever I am making the quesadilla, I always take the fillings, again, in this case, chicken and broccoli, toss that into the pan first, and I'll season that. I'm gonna give this a little bit of salt, a little pepper, some garlic powder, and then a little bit of chili powder, or cumin would also be great here, okay? And really the goal here is just to add another layer of flavor and to let the fillings heat through, because you don't want cold fillings in your warm quesadilla. Once that's all ready to go, I just transfer it out of the pan, and then I like to give the pan a quick wipe, right? Just get any residue out of the pan. And then I'm going to take my tortilla. I've got an 8-inch flour tortilla, and I'm just gonna lay that in a pan. I like to brush the top of it with a little bit of olive oil because the top is gonna become the bottom, and the olive oil is gonna help it get a nice crispy edge, okay? So from here, I'll flip the tortilla over, and then we're gonna sprinkle a little bit of cheese on half the tortilla, like a half moon. And then I take that broccoli and that chicken, the seasoned broccoli and chicken, and I just layer that on top. And then another light sprinkle of cheese over that. Then I'm just gonna fold it over onto itself and let it cook in the pan for about 2 minutes or so. It doesn't take long. Really, you're just looking for that cheese to melt. And while that's happening, the bottom of the tortilla is also gonna be getting a nice little crisp to it. Then you just get underneath it, flip it, let it go for another 2 minutes or so, and your quesadilla is ready to go. You just slip it right out of the pan, and then I like to cut it in half. And then of course you could just repeat that depending on how many quesadillas you wanna make. And again, such a versatile recipe, it's super flexible, but if you were to make it exactly the way I make it, and you can print my recipe below, this is going to deliver 30 grams of protein and 3 grams of fiber. Serve it with some Greek yogurt, serve it with some guacamole, and enjoy. Okay, last but not least, we're working with the same pan, but now we are making dinner. And this recipe I have been making for over 15 years. It is a tried and true staple in my house. This is my turkey and zucchini skillet. And if you haven't tried it yet, today is the day, because I am telling you, it is so quick, it's so easy, it's packed with protein, it's veggie forward, and everybody loves it. Okay, so to get started, I'm adding just a couple teaspoons of olive oil into the nonstick ceramic pan. Keep in mind, this is the 12-inch pan, so this is a little bit bigger because this recipe has a bit more volume. But overall, same pan, just a little bit bigger. Once that oil is heated up, I'm adding in 1 chopped onion along with a couple of cloves of chopped up garlic. I'm gonna give that a nice big fat pinch of sea salt. That's gonna help to pull the liquid out of the onions and the garlic. And then if you like heat like I do, a nice fat pinch of red pepper flakes as well. And I'm just gonna let them saute for about 3 to 4 minutes. The goal here is for them to soften, and you're gonna notice that those onions become translucent. You don't really want them to brown. If you notice they're browning, you wanna either turn the heat down or add a splash of water to the pan. Okay, once I've got my veggies where I want them, I just push them over to one side of the pan, and then I am going to add in 1 pound of ground turkey. And I'm just gonna season that with a little bit of salt and pepper, and then I'm gonna break that up, and so I have it into nice little crumbles. Now I'm using an extra lean ground turkey here, but a regular lean turkey would work, or even just regular ground turkey. But I always like to remind you that, especially if protein is your priority, the leaner the cut of meat, the higher the protein is gonna be. The higher the fat, the lower the protein. So there's no good, no bad, but you just wanna know, like, what's the intention? What are you trying to get out of the meal? Because that may help you make your decision. And also, also keep in mind, this could be ground chicken, it could be ground beef, ground bison, super flexible recipe. Once I've got the pink all out of the turkey, it's white and opaque, I start to mix this in with the veggies, get that really well incorporated. We've got the turkey in nice little small crumbs, and now the turkey's in little crumbles, and so now it's time for my zucchini. Now I chopped this up a little bit earlier. I did it the same way I did for the frittata. I just cut it into quarter moons, and I have 4 cups in total. So we get that into the pan. I'll give it a little bit more salt, a little more pepper, and then I like to just give it some Italian seasoning over the top, okay? And then from here, I'll just dump a 28-ounce can of diced tomatoes right over the top. If you've got fire roasted tomatoes, even better, because you're going to get more depth of flavor, but I didn't have those on hand. Then you're going to carefully begin to just mix all of these ingredients together. Now, right now, it may look like the pan is a little bit dry, but as the zucchini begins to cook, it's going to release a lot of liquid, a lot of water, and then the sauciness is going to become just perfect. So trust me on this one. You want to let it cook for 15, 20 minutes, just like this. It's going to be like a nice slow simmer on the stovetop. And then you're going to know that it's just about ready because, again, the pan is going to get nice and saucy and the zucchini is going to be fork tender. Absolutely perfect. Once this dish is ready to rumble, I do love to finish this with a good hearty sprinkle of Parmesan cheese over the top, nice and nutty and salty. And then if you like heat like I do, a nice fat pinch of red pepper flakes. Now, you could of course enjoy this just the way it is, or you could serve it over some rice or your favorite pasta. But my favorite way to serve this is hands down over a plate of spaghetti squash. It's the perfect pairing. You get a gigantic serving of vegetables. You're gonna get 30 grams of protein plus 5 grams of fiber when you enjoy this as your meal. And I'm telling you right now, it is so enjoyable. And so there you have it. 3 easy, delicious, healthy, protein-forward meals using one amazing pan and no fancy gadgets. It really can be this simple to get nutritious food on the table, and I'm so excited to see which recipe you decide to try first. And remember, if you're in the market for good quality non-stick ceramic cookware, you have to check out the Ceramic Clad collection by Maiden and all of their other cookware as well. And I do have a link for you down in the description box below. As always, I thank you for watching, and I will see you back here next time with some more clean and deliciousness. Cheers!